the Discord.
I'm posting, retweeting on Twitter.
Okay.
As soon as it pops up, there we go.
We are here. We are live. Alright. You guys gotta help us pick the game. We're playing on tonight's stream.
We gotta start the stream like I said we had to start the stream.
Oh, that's right.
Right?
Oh, jeez. Okie dokie.
Alright. Video games!
Alright, now.
What are we picking? What are we
You
playing?
take the laptop and
Alright.
see what everyone says while we look over here at our fucking PS3 game.
Spicy salts. Fuck
Tell me if
Nate's
it's
stream.
readable.
Alright. Oh man, it's right now I just see your hand in more detail than I ever wanted to.
You're not seeing the...
I see it now.
Okay. You get live footage if you look at the other computer.
I guess.
But it's so small and far
Is
away.
it readable? So there's 2 layers here.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking the two
It's gonna be
games.
hard to show it all at once.
The 2 games I was thinking of before we even started streaming was either
You see both rows?
but they're not readable at that point. You gotta zoom in more. You're just pan around a bit.
Okay, here, turn the screen to face me more so I can fucking see what I'm doing. Oh, that's good. Yeah, right there.
So we're playing on PS3 because
Yes,
the PS3 was
select-
hooked up. We
Select
dare
any
not.
PS3 game.
I was thinking either Metal Gear Rising or Deus Ex Human Revolution because I've played both of those and I know they're good. But I'm down for anything at this point. This is the people's choice today on the party stream.
What God of War is this?
God of War 3.
3 is pretty fucking madness.
It is. I wanted to play Ascension, but I just don't have it. Let's see. We got 10 bits from Secret Anime Police. It says Deus Ex in all caps. Jalen Harris says play Metal Gear. I think we have all of them. We have the Metal Gear Solid collection, so they're all on there.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most readable thing up here. That and KSX are the 2 most readable things up here. Might be why they're getting selected.
10 bits is like a cent, Tom. Don't listen to him. It's 10 more cents than if you've given us Spicy Salt, so this is a cold capitalistic endeavor. Yeah, the titles are pretty readable. It's just like the fisheye makes it anything that's not in the center kind of wonky. Don't even have Little Big Planet pleb tier selection. Maybe.
Little Big Planet is okay.
I was never really interested in it.
I could give a Little Big Planet review once we get the stream going.
Alright, we have Kingdom Farts, Eco, Play Max Payne. We have Max Payne 3 on PS3, which was, it was okay. Kingdom Sharts, says Sentient Crab. I don't know if I want to dig into an RPG on the party stream.
What are they requesting?
Kingdom Hearts.
No. No chance in hell.
Let's play Kingdom Hearts 2 and just have the entire stream be the intro. We have another vote for Max Payne 3 from Robert Floyd.
I've never heard anything positive about that game.
You're bald. It's kind of weird. It doesn't run very great on PS3 though, not gonna lie. As most PS3 ports tend to do. Run at sub 20 FPS.
Looking through trying to decide what answer I would want to see the most.
I mean, I would just go for Metal Gear Rising just because rules of nature. But I play that all the time.
My vote is either, I mean, if you really want to play Metal Gear Rising, we can go with that. I would like to see Deus Ex. I also wouldn't mind seeing God of War 3.
I'm down for all of those. Someone says play Rules of Nature. Max Payne 3 has unskippable cutscenes. That's bad. Jalen Harris, I'm top donator, so everyone else is suggested is invalid. Play Metal Gear. I don't know which Metal Gear. Sleepy Drawing just gave us 100 bits and said, Metal Gear doesn't matter which.
I mean, Rising counts, right?
I suppose it does count. No, Max Payne 3 is the most Kino game of all time. I don't know if I believe that. That's from Spicy Salt, so.
Well, there you go. Well, my arm's getting tired, so we're gonna do Metal Gear.
I'm down for Metal Gear if you want to do Metal Gear, or we can do Deus Ex. It doesn't matter. Whatever you're feeling, dude. The chat's all over the place.
It sounded like the chat really paid us money to play Metal Gear.
All right.
More than anything else.
It is.
Where is the Rising?
It is the only one not on the shelf because we were gonna play that last week and it didn't work. It's like on top of. It's on the shelf on the second shelf with the one not on in the thing. Yeah. That was great words. Everyone's saying play MGS3 now. And why would we play MGS3? That's like a movie.
How do I shot web over here? That's right, it's PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
I hope this is actually hooked up and ready to go.
I mean, we played Chrono Cross yesterday, so I would assume. I would not assume, actually. Oh, Digi, we're showing everybody behind the scenes. They're all seeing the clusterfuck of anus that is the I Am Game setup, and I don't know if I can live through this.
Dude, don't you want to show off that we have Phantasy Star Online on the Dreamcast?
I mean,
sitting out for weeks for no apparent reason.
Why
has it been there? I don't even know.
Because we don't have a case for it, and Soul Reaver, the burn copy, is in the Dreamcast. It makes me happy every time I see it. Well, I wanted to make you happy. We'll go with that.
Because it's Phantasy Star Online.
Skip cutscenes. Then Metal Gear Solid 3 is the best gameplay. I don't know. I haven't liked any of the gameplay in the Metal Gear Solid games, ironically, except for 5. Except everything else about 5 besides basic mechanics was shit. Alright, here we go. It's happening. That disc is gonna go bad. That was a trip. I thought Tom was recording. Nah, dude. Nah. How was I recording if I was sitting on camera that whole time?
Streamlabs stuff doesn't look like it's showing up, so let's just turn it off and on and see if that helps.
The chat should be going. There we go. Excellent.
So I guess we should always, at the start of every stream, just turn off and on the Streamlabs.
I guess so. Someone subscribe with Twitch Prime to see if this stuff works.
Where should I put Chrono Cross? Where's the case?
The case is behind the PS2, I believe.
Right.
Here we go.
Alright.
Man, it's gonna suck if we're gonna have to install this game.
You're watching I Am Games, the most on-brand stream on Twitch.tv. On brand, on time, on gimmick, on Prancer, on Dancer, on the other guy, and Blitzen.
We're blitzing alright. Okie doke. So you've played this game, correct?
Yeah, I beat this game on my first ever Twitch stream.
Hell yeah. And you didn't watch any of the cutscenes?
I watched the cutscenes. I mean, I wasn't, like, strictly speaking paying attention, but my old buddy Don-san, who's big into games like this, would regularly run through it at our house, so I eventually saw most of it, you know.
The fucking shit.
I don't actually... No, yeah, I definitely beat this game. I think I was playing... I think I had to have played it on easy mode, because I was really fucking bad.
Just gotta parry everything.
And, like, when you see the final boss on, like, hard mode or above... Is there above hard mode? Can you unlock higher difficulties?
Maybe. I've only played it on normal and started on hard and just got spanked into oblivion.
Yeah, my buddy Don-san's like, you know, Ninja Gaiden Black highest difficulty kind of gamer, so he was like a big Platinum fan. But, which is why I know about Platinum so much, because he was so fucking into them.
You'll need to choose between light and heavy strikes to match the situation.
Man, this game has visually not aged as well as I might have expected.
It looks way better on TV. PlayStation 3 port is off piece of shit.
What's with the weird letterboxing?
It's because we're playing at standard def because of your cable.
Yeah, but why the fuck is it like? Why would it stretch this far? So it's very strange. Well, in any case, this is now Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. I guess I should probably read the chat. I guess we're doing a live stream now.
That is the idea.
The opening gimmick of a live stream. It's mostly just people complaining about your Metal Gear Solid opinions.
I mean, that's fine.
And then everybody just started arguing with each other about Metal Gear Solid 5, I think.
I mean, Metal Gear Solid 5 is objectively the worst Metal Gear.
Oh shit, we still have Chrono Cross listed as the game.
Should just keep going. I think that's fine.
How'd you find out about Metal Gear?
PS1 days. It was legendary.
Did you play it?
Of course.
What'd you think of Metal Gear 1 back in the day? Metal Gear Solid 1, I mean to say.
Blew my mind to shit. It was like my game for a long time.
I feel like you're one of many, many people who feels that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a unique opinion, but...
So what'd you think of Metal Gear Solid 2 when it came out?
I liked it. I thought Raiden was lame, but still... I'm just playing as an Xbox controller, so like, the shoulder buttons are different. Very weird. But, I thought it was good. I liked it a lot. I mean, I wanted to play more Snake, but... I think I played it too young to really appreciate the story. It kind of went over my head. I probably should replay it. I probably love it way more than I do right now.
You saw a Bunny House video on it, right?
Yeah, that's kind of what made me realize, oh, I was too retarded to understand this back in the day. But,
So what'd you think of 3?
3 was fucking sick, and I liked that a lot. Because it was very character-driven story.
Yeah.
And that was, I mean, it still is my kind of narrative. So, liked that a lot. Probably still my favorite Metal Gear overall. But, I mean, I've never been a huge fan of Metal Gear's gameplay, because I thought it was always very clunky. I mean, it's not, but it's not my kind. This is my kind of gameplay. So when you play Metal Gear, which is like much more restrictive and stiff, it's not my thing. Which is why 5, I liked playing Ground Zeroes. It made things a lot more organic. Yeah. And I was really excited for it. Unfortunately, everything else about that game, other than its core mechanics, was an abomination of mankind.
What did you think of 4?
I liked 4 a lot. It had like great storytelling, and like the way that like they made Snake old was weird, but it was also cool. And the way that it ties everything up, and I mean the story was like insane at points, and like it did a lot of like weird ass plays. But the fact that like it brought all these things home that had just been on everybody's mind for a while was cool. And then they made Raiden cool again, which was sick. And he like loses his fucking arm, fights with a sword in his mouth.
Yeah. My exposure to Metal Gear is largely that friend of mine, Donson. He was a huge fan of both the original games and, of course, Platinum games. So when this came out, it was like the hypest. Like, I fucking saw the tech demos for this years before, you know, with the fucking watermelons. Like...
Do you know the story behind this game? With those watermelons and stuff?
Because it was supposed to be like a gyroscope, like, chopping game, right? Where you could cut fucking anything in the game.
Yeah. And they couldn't make it work because they never made a game like that. So they scrapped that entire thing and gave it off to Platinum, and they did this.
Yeah, they literally tried to like create. They were like, this would be like the dopest control style, but like we cannot figure out how to apply this to a fucking video game.
Yeah, because like if everything's destructible, like you can just destroy the level and like fuck yourself over. But it was pretty cool. And that was like, the game was originally called Metal Gear Solid Rising, Lightning Bolt Action. They changed that to just Metal Gear Rising Revengeance.
Glad they kept it as stupid sounding as possible.
Vengeance is a real word. I don't know what you're talking about.
But yeah, my buddy was a huge Metal Gear guy, and I watched like a lot of Victor playing Metal Gear Solid 4, because like me and Victor had never played any of them growing up, but when 4 came out, he played through it with my friend, literally just explaining everything to him. It's like every time a new character would appear, he would just like explain that character's whole backstory and like tell him what went on in the plots of the other games. So by the time he was at the end, it felt like this insanely fucking epic climax to this insanely fucking epic story he'd been hearing about, you know? And he was really fucking into it. And then, you know, obviously everybody loves this game. This game is like... I mean, this game is just raw mechanics, you know? It's just... I mean, like, the aesthetic is perfect for what the mechanics are, like, audio-visually, in terms of, like, directing, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, it is a very, like, gray sort of pallid game that, like, you know, you don't come... even though it has really fucking hilarious cutscenes that are great, you know? I don't know.
I mean, Donald Trump played this game.
Did he really?
I mean, dude, this game, before Trump was even a thing, Armstrong says, "Make America great again." That's his big line. So, like, this clearly inspired Donald Trump, the greatest man to ever live.
I think this game is basically, like, perfect for the exact audience that it was targeted for, which is literally you.
Yeah, pretty much. It's the best thing ever made by a human. Like, this game, like, if this game had its own genre, it would be the Big Come. That's what it is.
This is Big Come the game.
Confession, I die at this point a lot because I'm too retarded to, like...
I remember struggling with this.
This and when you have to go up the building near the end of the game. These are the two hardest parts, IMO.
I remember struggling with this on my phone. But yeah, this is the only... like, I played some of... I played up to, like, the Raven fight in Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes on the GameCube. And I think I played the demo for MGS2.
So you haven't played a lot of Metal Gear?
And that's it for, like, main series Metal Gear.
Fuck!
Yeah.
Why? Okay, we kind of do need to play Metal Gear Solid 1 then. Like, that is, like,
well,
best.
I've seen the entire game, like, front to back many times, because everyone fucking does analysis videos on it. Like, Matthew Matosis did, like, a 45-minute one. Fucking Bunny Hop did, like, a 25-minute one. It's only, like, a 3 or 4 hour game.
But it's... oh, man.
And, like
it's
I've seen Metal Gear Awesome, like, countless times.
It's unfathomable to me to even imagine life not having played that game. It was so formative.
I just didn't have a PS1.
I mean, I got a PS1 super late, so I played Metal Gear Solid in, I want to say, like, 2003 or 2004. Like, it was very late. But, before that, I had the Dreamcast. I played a lot of Sonic and shit. Before that, I had N64. So, like, PlayStation was my first, like, big boy console. And so I played Metal Gear. I'm like, this is what video games can be? And it changed my life forever.
It's really funny because my first exposure to Metal Gear Solid was, like, 2003. My mom was, like, renting a game for us at Blockbuster. And, like, she just kind of like calls me on the phone. Like she had intended to rent a game, but like all they really had was Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes, I guess. She was like, "It's the only thing that sounds interesting. You want to play that?" And I was just like, all right, I guess. Like if that's the only game you can find." And she brought it home, and I think we just like took one look at it and we're like, "This is too hard to understand." Like we were not one for like thinky, ready games. And then like. But we never gave back that rental copy, so I still have it to this day, and that's the only reason I had it.
A fair bit of money now.
And then, well, it's in like a Blockbuster fucking.
No, that copy in particular isn't worth a lot of money though.
But yeah, the only reason I ended up playing Metal Gear Solid 2 is that I bought Zone of the Enders and got the fucking demo disc, and this is like years after. You know, like, it's like 2005, but, you know, they still included the demo disc if you bought the damn game. But, I didn't really engage it. Like, I had heard that it was, like, a legendary game franchise, but, like, in, like, 2004, when I started really learning about games outside the Nintendo, it was just, like, everything was a legendary game franchise, you know? It's like, if you weren't there for it, then it's just like this endless amount of 90s shit that everyone's telling you. Like, because you've got the mainstream stuff like Metal Gear Solid, but then if you're in the underground, you got people who are like, "Oh, Grandia is the greatest game of all time," you know, and you're
right.
like...
I mean, you dig deep enough, every game is someone's greatest game.
Right, exactly. So, like, you know... I was hearing about Metal Gear Solid, but it was just one out of many games that I would hear people say are like one of the greatest. But then when I met Donson, he actually like he more sold it as like the epic boundary pushing technical angle of it, because I think that's what fascinated him the most. Like he was really interested in the fact that like the game was on. Like, the whole joke about the Blu-ray discs that's in the game, like, he loved that because he was so into Blu-ray at the time. And he was just like, "Oh, yeah, fucking the game's on Blu-ray and it's, like, 26 gigs because everything's uncompressed." And, like, there's a part where you can just run around as, like, this little rover and, like, look at people, like basically, like, a cutscene is happening in the environment and you're just, like, a little robot that can observe it from any angle. Fucking wild shit, you know? That's just in that game. So that was more how I knew it at the time. But then, like, when all the analysis videos came out, and they're like, "Oh, it's like this metatextual fucking masterwork," then I was like, "Oh, I see. It's not just a so you like Castlevania game." Super Mario Sunshine. That clip was used a lot in the Kajito-kun, videos. Metal Gear is just such a huge cultural reference point. Like, I think everybody knows something about it, you know?
Yeah.
Even if it's just fucking hearing Egoraptor go, "Metal Gear."
Metal Gear. She's my niece. She's still hot, asshole.
Metal Gear, Metal Gear, Metal.
Did you ever try killing the cat on the beach?
No.
Can't do it. Unhittable.
Unhit cat.
Toughest enemy in the game. Just dodges all your hits. Fuck you, cat.
Amazing. You can cut this whole bridge down, right?
Yep.
Should have cut it down.
Yeah, I would think getting up would have been harder.
You gotta destroy everything you can possibly destroy. It's the only right way to play.
You know what the worst thing about the PS3 version of this game is?
Yeah.
You know how you get bonuses for like cutting guys into pieces? Like it tracks your pieces as you cut things up. The PS3 runs out of RAM or storage or whatever, and it can't do it eventually, but on PC you can go literally forever.
Damn. Like just cutting the people to like more and more pieces?
Yeah, it'll go up to like, you know, hundreds and hundreds of pieces, but once you hit a certain amount on PS3, it just runs out of memory, you just can't do it anymore.
How does the fucking computer even do it like forever?
Because my computer has like 128 times the memory of a PS3.
Is it possible? Like, I mean, don't the images just eventually stop getting smaller? You know?
I mean, I don't know how the math works. I'm not like a super genius programmer, but like, you just hit that. I'm sure eventually you would like stop, and it would stop working. But like, the cap is so much earlier on PS3.
Yeah.
It's so much older.
I feel it.
Right, this is Boris. Give me your status.
Looks
Good. And don't. Oh,
so I.
hostiles in the. Try to.
DG, what if making games based off anime became a thing? They do that. They do that all the time. You ever play Cowboy Bebop Sidetracked?
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Not Cow. I meant Samurai Champloo Sidetracked. I meant to say.
I've heard of that, but I've not played
It's a Suda 5-1 game.
Main thoroughfare.
it. Whoa.
You can use
Yeah.
augment mode to see where the
Is
enemy
it
is located.
worth the shit?
Your body analyzes
Uh,
radar and
I would say it's worth a cursory glance.
Oh, so it's another 6 out of 10 anime game?
Yeah, exactly. But in a very different kind of way. Like, it's weird because like the visual style of it is very Suda 5-1, but the mechanics are also very Suda 5-1, which is to say basic as fuck. And there's not really like a compelling narrative to back it up, which like most of his games have that trifecta of cool visuals, at least distinctive mechanics, even if they're repetitive, and like a great, interesting story with weird characters. But Samurai Champloo just has really bad character models that like went for like a photorealistic look interpretation of the characters, and it's super weird
What?
on the PS2. So they look like ass, and they couldn't get the same voices for the dub, so like it's just a guy doing a bad Steve Blum impression,
Oh,
and it's really weird.
that sounds like not even worth talking about on the stream right now.
No, but it's fine. I played like 20 minutes of it for a video once. I was
Didn't they make like a
intrigued.
semi-decent Fullmetal Alchemist game for PS2? They made like
I-
2 of them.
Don't I remember them existing now that you like I'm fucking you just gave me like a weird like freak flashback to something that I had forgotten. Like like a time in like 2004. This is actually kind of a traumatic story.
Oh no.
In
What have I
2004, so you know I moved a lot growing up, right?
Yeah.
This is the 19th house I've lived in my life. And when I was a kid, I was used to moving all the time. But we had lived in the city of Newport News, which is like somewhat north of Virginia Beach, like maybe an hour north. And with that, we lived there for like 2.5 years. And I had this one guy who I was kind of friends with who was like a burgeoning anime fan. Like he was somebody who I met probably in the last like 6 months that I lived in the house that I did. And he had a really tiny room in his house, but he had like, you know, Ramune bottles that he had saved. And he had like a little stash of manga and anime, and he'd seen a few things. But by this point, even though I'm like 13, I was like hardcore by comparison. Because I was watching shit on DVD and fucking reading anime magazines, and I knew all kinds of like weird information and shit. So this kid was kind of interested in like the otaku lifestyle that I, you know, that I've lived. But I ended up moving away to the city of Chesterfield, which is like close to Richmond, which is like 2 hours north of there. And so when it was that kid's birthday, he invited me to come because it hadn't been that long since I had moved, so it's not like I didn't know him anymore. This is the last time I'd ever talked to him. Because when I was growing up, it was normal to just move away and not ever talk to the people you knew before ever again, you know? So, like, I'm used to people just kind of entering and disappearing from my life. Which is why I'm able to live on the internet so well. But anyways,
I wonder if this is what conditioned you to hate people because you had to not like them to separate yourself emotionally from any connections you would make because they would
No,
flee so
I
quickly?
always liked the, you know, I didn't like start disliking the people I had known before. I just had no way of contacting them, so I just thought,
No Facebook.
yeah, there was no Facebook, there was no, that shit all started like to really pick up when I was in middle school, but like the kids who I would have hung out with, like, wouldn't have even had them, and even then I didn't, like, some of the kids I went to like elementary school with and shit have added me on Facebook over the years, but I have not like kept up with them in any way because I knew them for like a brief period of time and I was a totally different person from who I am now. But anyways, so yeah, I had moved away, but I was going down to this kid's house for his birthday party for like 2 days, and this ended up being a very poor decision on my part. Because I went to this kid's house, and he was like really big into Full Metal Alchemist at the time, and I had seen, like, I was watching it too, but he got not only the Full Metal Alchemist video game on PS2, and I remember watching him play it at his house on his birthday for maybe like 20 minutes, and it was like the fight with Father Cornello from the first episode. So it was like literally the anime in a game, like a straight up like, this is the manga as told in game form, or the anime as told in game form, because it was the same visual style. And then he also had gotten Atelier Iris, because that game is about being like an alchemist. And I think it's possible that like I had convinced him to get that, and I think he was getting like really into crafting shit in that game or something. I don't even fucking remember. I was just there for like a night and a half. So after this party, or when I went to this party, I had brought my Game Boy Advance and like fucking like 7 games for some reason. that used to always be how I was. It's like, I didn't just want to bring a game to play. I wanted to bring enough that I could like make a decision about which game I wanted to play. And I used to always just bring like way too much shit anytime I left the house. So I brought all these Game Boy Advance games, and I end up leaving at his house by accident. Advance Wars 1 and 2.
Oh god.
And Golden Sun 2.
You fool. Like the best of the best. The creme de la creme.
So I never have gotten to play Golden Sun 2 or Advance Wars. I don't know if I left anything else there. I don't think so. Why is he asking if the meaning of life? Was he trying to like make his robot Turing test like activate?
The wolf said that his intelligence far surpassed it. So he's like, okay,
see.
what's the meaning of life? Being a cheeky little cunt, you know?
So yeah, at this kid's house, I accidentally left all these fucking GBA games, and I never saw him or talked to him again after this.
I guess you gave him extra birthday presents.
Yeah. Meanwhile, back at home, you might have heard this story, but I'll tell it again for the audience. I had just recently purchased a PlayStation 2 from Victor's friend, some fuckboy kid named Zach or something, who I already didn't like because he was a brat. But he had like gone behind his parents' back and sold me a PS2 for like $25 or something like that.
Shit. That's
Yeah.
a deal.
And it was like a slim.
Whoa.
So for my birthday, which had been like a little bit prior, I had got like a shitload of PS2 RPGs. But then when I come back from this trip, that kid had gotten in trouble for selling me the PS2 and come to Victor and gotten Victor to give him back the PS2.
Oh.
And Victor had just done it without thinking anything of it. And I got back and I was so fucking pissed, and like I told my parents, but there was nothing they could really do about it because it was like, well, like we're not going to tell him, hey, give back the PS2
Right.
that you sold for $25 that you shouldn't have done.
Something similar happened to me with one of my friends. I bought an iPod, and I got it pretty cheap. But what happened is the iPod broke, like immediately after I bought it. And I was not upset by this in terms of like, oh, like I'm fucked. I was just like, I wasn't like, I'm gonna try and get my money back. It was a newish iPod, so it was under warranty. So I was like, can I just get like the receipt so I can bring it to Apple and like get it fixed? And he would not do that for some reason, and I was kind of upset about it. And then eventually, at some point, it got back. I was like calling him, trying to like get the receipt. Cause like, dude, I'm not like trying to, be an Indian giver or anything. I just gotta get it fixed, and I need proof of purchase. Yeah. So I kept calling him, trying to get it back. And at one point, his parents picked up, and I told them what was going on, and they were furious because he had told his parents that he had lost this iPod, and that was like a birthday present they spent a ton of money on for him. And then he just went around and sold it. So I got him unintentionally in a fuck ton of trouble, and they ended up giving me the money back. And he got a broken iPod, and then he got in trouble. I was like, well, that didn't really pan out the way I was expecting, but at least I didn't get fucked on it.
That's really fucking funny. That the iPod broke, and now he's stuck with both a broken iPod and no money.
Right. I was like, if he'd just given me the receipt, man, everything would have been fine.
Yeah.
I was willing to work within the system.
He probably didn't have it though.
I'm assuming, because his parents had it.
Yeah.
It's why it was not happening.
Oh, cool.
So.
Yeah. That's fucking hilarious. In my case, it had been that my PS2 that I'd had for like probably a year had like gotten fucked up because I played too many DVDs on it apparently, and that fucks with the laser. Or some shit.
You could do that, which is stupid.
So I had done that to mine, and then I bought this one off this kid, got all like $200 worth of games for it, and then fucking like he took it back. So then my parents just bought a new PS2 for me because they were like, well, because I was like, I'm like shit out if he doesn't give me back this PS2, all the games we got before it. So they were just like, fuck it, want to get another one, So they got another one. And it like started having errors like 2 months later.
Ugh.
And that was at a time where we just had no money. Like that was when we moved into the ghetto. So it was like this was the only thing I intended to do while we were there. Is just play PS2 games, and that was going to be my life. And the PS2 like just stopped working immediately for no apparent reason. So that sucked. Eventually, I got another PS2. And then another PS2. So I think that's 5.
I've had a lot of PS2s in my day.
How many 360s?
I only had like 2 or 3 360s. I never had a red ring.
That's impressive.
Which is insane.
I had like 3.
But, yeah. I want a 360 now. There's so much good stuff that I never got around to.
Selling broken things should make you get sent to the deepest depths of hell.
Well, yeah. It wasn't. The iPod wasn't broken when he gave it to me, so I don't think it was,
How did it break?
It just stopped. Like the hard drive just died and it wouldn't load anything anymore. So, very unfortunate. And like, it would have been something that Apple would have covered, so I knew I could just get it fixed.
Do you think his family let him get it fixed eventually?
I would hope so. Like, just for their sake. Like, you want to throw away your money like that.
Yeah.
No, give me it. Give me it, you fuck. Like 16 HP.
It feels like it can't be a coincidence that it would have such an obscure failure right after he sold it to you.
Yeah, I mean...
Like, is there any way that he could have manufactured that scenario?
Kid wasn't very smart. I don't feel like he'd have the technical know-how to identify an incoming problem like that and then try and capitalize on it. So I think it was just a coincidence. What's going on in the chat? Let's see.
Just Jalen Harris saying, I remember when DJ used to read chat. I keep reading the chat, but nobody's like asking us any questions or anything, so... Or none that I felt like reading. Right now people are just telling stories about their PS2s.
This dude's the shit. I had a PS2. I was playing with my buddy. I think I told the story before, actually. And he was sitting on an exercise ball we had downstairs, and he rolled backwards. And the PS2 fell off the entertainment center and split in half. And it was terrifying. But we put it back together, and it worked. So I sold it to one of my friends that I didn't like.
You say the PS2 came in half
It split in half.
and it still worked?
Surprisingly.
A slim, right?
No, this was a fat.
Oh boy.
Yeah. It was incredible. I don't know how it worked, but the dude never had any complaints with the PS2 I sold him, so I guess it's just one of those weird things.
How did you get it back together?
It was just like it split at the seam, so like you could kind of just like snap it back in place. It was
That's fucking hilarious.
yeah, it was bizarre.
They're just built that way.
I guess so.
I know the PS2 was like very much the most easily breakable console.
Did you watch that thing on XPlay?
Yeah,
That's how you know.
I'm thinking about that.
When
Thinking
they
about-
just drop it and it just dies
Yeah.
in the first test.
Yeah.
And the Xbox eventually dies because the front plate fell off, so they couldn't power it on anymore. And the GameCube was just a god.
Yeah. Dude, my GameCube is... I've got a couple of GameCubes that have seen hell. And granted, I think one of our GameCubes did die. Like, I think the original GameCube that me, Vic, and Shade had, like, fucking... just, like, through the power of living in Florida and leaving it on all the time for Chow Garden shit, I think it, like,
Oh,
eventually
God.
fucking melted something inside of it. We had to get a new one.
The struggle was real.
It was something like that, and then we got a silver one, which like had like orange soda spilled all over it and shit, like all up in the fan, and like it
Oh.
looked gross and it was crusty, and the reset button was stuck down, but it luckily just didn't work.
Dude, if you ever want to like be disgusted, this guy Spawnwave on YouTube, he buys like he has videos where he bought a GameStop refurbished 360, and just the condition that it's in, and the gall they have to call it a certified refurbished console is just disgusting. He did one for a PS3 as well, and had like tons of liquid damage on the inside. It's like, oh, everything's just rusted.
Yeah.
And they're saying it's refurbished. It's just like they couldn't even clean this apparently. I hate fighting helicopters in this game. It's really annoying. I know I'm supposed to use the fucking rocket launchers, but I refuse. I refuse to reduce myself to a peasant.
Tom, what do you think of League of Legends or other MOBAs?
They're gay and I don't like them.
I
don't-
hear that.
I don't like multiplayer games in general that just go on forever. Especially games like that when they try and incentivize you to do like in-game purchases and stuff. Like Splatoon, I'm okay with because it's so casual and friendly. That's why I like it a lot. It's just like something you sit down with a little bit and just have fun with. But something like League, like the matches are long. You have to like sit down and commit. And I'm like spoiling my Splatoon video, but like the reason Splatoon is so much better than every other multiplayer game is that kills don't matter. Kills are strategically in helping you like clear the field, but the way you win the game is by covering the map with more of your team's colored ink. And so that means even if you suck in the beginning of the game, which you will because everyone else is going to have better gear, just be better at playing the game, you can still help. You can still do something useful. You know, you're never going to be in a position where, like, in Call of Duty or something, or in Halo, if you're just blowing balls in Team Deathmatch, everybody's giving you shit because you're just giving the other team 3 points. In Splatoon, covering the ground takes no skill at all. I mean, it takes skill to do it effectively, but like, you can, even if you're just an idiot staying at your spawn and covering ink, you're helping your team. So you always feel like you have enough skill to do something useful. So there's never a point where like you get something with like League of Legends or Call of Duty or Halo or any of these online games where you have to grind through this beginning point where you know you're worthless and a detriment to everyone on your team, and you just have to keep grinding through that until eventually you can become useful. In Splatoon, from the very beginning, you can help, and you're doing something that's effective, and you just get better and you become more effective. It's brilliant.
Are you actually making a Splatoon video?
I was going to earlier, and then I forgot about it, and then someone on the PCP was like, where the fuck's your Splatoon video, you cunt? I'm like, oh, I guess I have to make it.
Who on the PCP?
Someone on the voicemails.
So that's where they're holed
some kind of electronic lock on the gate.
Most likely it opens only if you have the right ID data stored in your left hand. Perhaps you could find a cyborg with access.
How much revengeance have you revenged so
You see any
far?
cyborgs around?
Not a lot of revengeance. I just started.
Double back.
My revengeance began when I got my arm and eye cut out.
Entrance to the old city. Who knows?
Using
That was annoying. Why couldn't it just let you walk through that little patch of more area? Why is DJ at the bottom of the chat? It hasn't seen, I haven't seen a lot of interesting stuff in the chat.
Everyone's just enthralled by the glory that is Metal Gear
We've
Rising.
mostly been going into kind of longer discussions, and usually when that happens, the chat just kind of takes it as like, oh, they're not reading chat, so like, we'll just talk about whatever.
Bravo! Excellent work. There was classified data embedded in that hand.
How long have voicemails on PCP been a thing? Not very long, like 2 months.
Yeah.
Just as you did.
Did you have ever seen Jeff Rosenstock live? No. Do a funny scream.
A funny scream?
Yeah, do a funny scream. Ugh. That was pretty funny. It's also gross.
That was the point, right? Are screams not gross? I've never heard a not gross scream.
What's your favorite Hatsune Miku song? Oh god, I haven't heard a new Hatsune Miku song in like a decade. Any answer I give will make me sound like an old man.
I hate to break it to you.
I think the Hatsune Miku songs that I know are literally so old that like a modern Hatsune Miku fan would not know them. I think that might be possible. Like a Zoomer Hatsune Miku fan might not even know the songs that I know because they're so old. Game audio could be a little lower. It overpowers your voice sometimes.
I've had a problem with that.
This game is pretty loud. Who would win in a fight between Digi and Tom?
Digi could just buy an assassin to kill him with all the money he has.
I don't actually know. I don't know what kind of hidden strengths Tom could have. I don't know if he's got like tall guy strength or if he would just fall apart at the touch.
I don't know. I mean, I don't have like great like tolerance for pain, but I have been working
is
out
this
a
a
little bit.
fair fight or a or like a brawl?
I would assume even a fair fight review would descend into a brawl.
That could be true.
I don't see you respecting the rules of engagement.
That is
Especially if you're on
very
the
fair.
downswing.
I'm glad that you know me that well.
I mean, someone who constantly says I'm not a good person, I don't expect you to respect the rules of engagement and anything like that. No! You fuck. In my defense, though, I mean, I've been going to the gym, because I have a little bit of strength now, and I do know like the basics of boxing. My dad's a boxer. I run some shit. My dad's
a boxer?
He did lots of boxing. He did a lot of like actual fighting with the Black Dragons, like fought.
What the fuck are the Black Dragons?
It's like a elite group of people who learn to kill people and shit.
What the fuck?
When my dad was in college, he had ninja gear and would climb the sides of the dormitories and stuff. This is what my dad does. Or did. Past.
How did he become an old fuck?
It's called having a abusive narcissistic wife that's beaten the life out of you.
That's depressing.
It is. That's why I'll never get married. Can't risk that shit.
The fucking trackpad is like having a real difficult time with the chat right now.
Well, I don't tell you.
That's why I'm not reading anything, is I'm trying to fucking Make it fucking... Make it not shit. To Captain Jestal asking, have you considered producing music besides rap / hip hop? I've always wanted to do music. It's hard. Learning to do music is, if you really want to perform your own music, like, the baseline is pretty high for even creating something. Because, like, you have to develop a significant amount of skill at playing an instrument and understanding how it sounds before you can even start writing a song. Whereas just like, you know, again, writing a song is a lot easier, but people are not, like, average people aren't generally impressed with a written song. They're impressed with the finished product. And it's hard to, like, sell a written song unless you're somebody who's in the songwriting industry. So, like, being good at writing songs isn't really a marketable skill unless you are, like, within the industry. Whereas being able to perform songs can be a marketable skill even if you're not within the industry. So even though I have a lot of interest in, like, writing songs that aren't rap songs, actually performing them is, like, a little beyond my caliber, because I'd have to take years to learn how to, like, learn an instrument or multiple instruments, or find other people who I could work with, but I don't, you know, I don't know anybody who I could be in a band with. So, and it's also very location based, just by way of the nature of the market of that shit. Although, I mean, I would participate in a sending files over Discord band if everybody in it was fucking really tight. But, nonetheless, I would like to get into writing more music, but rap and hip-hop is a lot easier to self-produce without having to learn an instrument. Because you mostly just compile it out of, you know, arranged samples of sounds. Or just rap over somebody else's beat. And I happen to have the luck of a high baseline with rap, just as somebody who grew up rapping along to rap songs all the time. Mara Mori says, I think Tom doesn't know about the lock-on button.
Lock-on's gay.
Dostoyev and his team must be in here. Find him. Ryder, wait. There are active IR sensors in the area.
God, this is near impossible to scroll in this fucking chat. I don't know why it's like...
Sometimes things are just... That's what I've learned.
Digitom, why can't I be content with one art form? Why can't I just focus on one for long enough to get good at it? Why do I feel the need to learn fucking everything?
Because you want to be a professional guy. And to do professional products, you gotta know multiple disciplines.
Often true.
you also don't want to work with a team.
Yeah,
You're a little bit narcissistic, and you're a control freak.
that's also true.
I'm speaking from experience.
Those are all true. Also, I would say, you got your start late if you're not good at anything yet. But I don't think there's anything wrong with pursuing multiple stuff at the same time as long as you keep at all of it.
Sounds like it's not what's happening.
Like if the problem is that you try to do one thing and then you lose hope in that thing because you wanted to do it but you're not actually enjoying it, well then just throw that one aside. You're not gonna learn it. Like, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
If it's not fun, then there's no fucking point.
yeah, you gotta sometimes just gotta let things go. It's hard. But, like, I'm kind of letting go of the fact of ever, like, being a decent illustrator. Because I don't enjoy doing it. I just do it not to, keep missing those arms. They're really important.
I have reset the chat. Have you considered doing more features with other rappers? I would. Nobody's really like. No Thank You offered me to appear on one of his beats. He wasn't doing a rap on it. I mean, I would feature other rappers in my songs if I knew more rappers. But if people wanted me to feature on their song, if it was a good song, I would definitely do it. Digi, do you know why Davu is still not on the PCP after he's done with the game? I don't. He just hasn't asked to come back. I think he's still pretty fucking busy since he's doing my videos still, and it took him a long time to finish it by the end of November. He also reinstated his Patreon going forward from his game's release, so he might be planning to work on another game right afterwards or something. I don't even know. I'm pretty sure his Patreon had been per video and he'd had it frozen. But then he listed the game as a post and then switched it to monthly and was like, you know, like, don't expect anything, but I'm turning this back on. So if you're gonna keep it, if you like this game and you want to see more from me, just keep your Patreon going, I guess. He also has a website. I think it's just the Davu.com. Tom do Mistral, No Hit, and S rank, I believe.
I think I've already fucked that up. The problem is I've played this game on New Game Plus with like all my abilities so many times that like half the stuff I expect to have, I don't. All like the extra abilities and stuff. So I'm like, oh, I can't use these.
Tom, I feel like you'd appreciate this band that sent me their CDs on a mailbag that I did yesterday.
Oh yeah.
There's a band called Azure, and they make music that sounds kind of like this battle theme, but it's like epic, like prog metal opuses, but with like a strong video game like chiptune element to it.
Sounds good.
But they sent me 2 albums, and as the guy described, the first one is about lots of stuff. The second one is about the Pokemon Absol and nothing else. And it was
I'm sold.
it was a 20-minute metal opera about Absol. Well, not opera, but like, you know, a concept song, a 20-minute conceptual Absol song, and it was pretty lit. It was clumsy in places and very synthetic, but it kind of reminded me of like something Tarby would make. Like, it took me back to the Pony days, but in a good way.
Alright, I was gonna say, you've used that as a negative many times
Yeah.
before.
Our Fridays now Hideki Kamiya and other influence/branched off games nights. I mean,
They kind of will
Tom
be
is just
often.
a big
Yeah,
fanboy of
that's-
these types
that's
of
just my
games.
shit. So,
There's a reason we put Dante on the Friday night game streams logo. It also helps that these games are really fucking short, so we can usually just blast through them in like a couple of nights, you know?
yeah.
Like DMC we did in one go. DMC we did like half of. This is more pleasant for me than DMC was. The metal is, or the music in this is a lot better. You guys seen that picture of a young Kamiya with his mother? I have not. Posted in the Iron Games Discord. Play Bayonetta already.
I still haven't played Bayonetta at all.
We
which
should
is-
do that on the next party stream.
I agree. It's kind of disgusting that we haven't done it. It's unforgivable.
You let us, you memed us into letting you play Metal Gear Rising instead, again.
I don't even play this on Iron Games yet.
Yeah, but you memed us again.
I guess. This game's just like the funnest shit.
Have you guys played Fury? No.
Fury?
But
No,
I
but I wanted to play it. I was gonna buy it for Switch, but I didn't. I'm listening to this emotional cut.
I have not listened to Porter Robertson outside of Shelter, which I was not that impressed with. Is Digibro the Xehanort of Anitube? Isn't that the bad guy from Kingdom Hearts? Is Bayonetta possible tonight? We'd probably have to hook up the Switch. I think he only has it on the Switch. We're already playing Metal Gear.
You never.
She's not talking to you, idiots.
You killed her! You Playomats! Murderer!
That's rich coming from you. It's overdose, I am. Surrender. Translation.
Why would I spend you are exactly where I want.
Anything cool happened in the 25 seconds I've gone?
Nope.
I missed 3 encounters. What a fool I am.
I want to see Mexican Ride.
It's coming up. Should unlock that skin. And just beat that the entire game.
Oh, fuck. Oh, boy.
More damage.
I put out a lot of videos yesterday. I did it up.
Yeah, so there was a lot of shit just coming out. I was like, alright.
It was a good day for productivity. Pretty much all I have left on my plate now is Tales of Phantasia video. And I'm still terrified, but I know I can make it through. I've got like a couple more days before Defu even gets home to start working on Log Horizon, so I have no bailouts. How do Iz become a god? Just do it, dog. Raiden is a fucking autist.
That's a compliment in this house.
Heroes of Vale says my Log Horizon vid was pretty choice. Thank you. Keyblade Spirit says it just occurred to me that Digi and Tom could make Twitch history. They could do Twitch's first ever all-male sleep stream. They have the power.
Kind of disguise lined up, right?
Is that just where you sleep on stream?
Maybe.
So you'd be a little conspicuous as walking.
I don't know anything about this shit.
Relax, Kev. I'll blend right in.
What made you decide to tackle Log Horizon again? I watched it. I was just like, I was just laying in bed talking to May about how much I thought she would like the character Akatsuki, and then she was like, why don't we just watch Log Horizon? And I was like, okay, you know it's 50 episodes long, and she was like, yep, and I said, let's fucking do it. And we cranked that shit out in like 3 or 4 days. And I was like, this is the best fucking anime. And nobody understands how good it is. I'm gonna talk about it.
Let's go.
Explaining that made me really comfy. Thoughts on Tostino's pizza? Tostino's pizza roll.
Okay.
Roll curd.
Email this web zone if you want a pizza roll.
I would say that they're one of the few like microwavable snack dishes that I still will eat to this day.
Yeah.
Spicy Salt says he doesn't like Lunchables. What a freak.
I haven't had Lunchables in so long.
I have them all the time.
I know you do.
You gotta get the pizza ones though. The pepperoni pizza ones are the only good ones.
It's right. I'm in the sewer system.
All right, let's get started. You're a quick help.
So,
You made it to Batman Land.
Oh, maybe.
I will scout ahead. You will provide backup.
sir, yes, sir.
Commence operation.
What city is this supposed to be in?
I don't know, some Mexican city.
They have a really fucking big sewer system.
It's the future.
Right. Unidentified UGs are patrolling the sewers.
Is this the future where Senator Armstrong has fixed the crumbling infrastructure of the whole world?
No, he's just a senator. I don't know how much work he can actually do.
What? Ava's not actually out on Netflix till March?
Yeah.
I just thought it was on there.
Better take out
No.
Everybody made me so hyped. Well, that's foolish.
Man, imagine if they actually did redub it. What? Are you serious?
Yeah,
But like, why?
they feel like it. I mean, the original dub is kind of infamous. Thoughts on Phantasy Star Universe? It's really good. It's really unfortunate that like the main, like if you just played the single player story mode, it's not great. But the actual online multiplayer was like a really cool, logical next step from Phantasy Star Online. But unfortunately, it was only playable via Xbox Live, and in America, I believe. There might have been a PC version, but I don't think it's still online.
I thought there was a PS2 release.
There may have, yeah, there was a PS2 release of Universe. But yeah, like it was fun while it lasted. It's one of those games you'll
So you
never
save
really
out
be able to
literally
play.
every fucking online game. It was fun while it lasted. 'Cause it won't last.
Nothing lasts though, so it's not a big deal.
Well, if I pay for something, I'd like to have it last as long as I want it to. Fucking god, he's gonna wreck me.
What if they actually watch my video and pick up all the other shows I told them to pick up in the time before Eva comes out? And I can be like, I told you so. I called it way back months ago before you guys were even excited about it.
I'm in trouble.
Oh shit. Fuck. What you're doing?
Well, embarrassing as fuck.
You still got $2. December is upon us. Have you guys managed to access your Twitch money yet?
Nope.
Also, Ryan59 just subscribed to Twitch Prime.
Hell yeah.
Let's
What
see
I
what
wanted to do was this.
kind of information. Doing research. Sorry for the lack of talking. Trying to figure out when the pay would show up.
The day after December, which is a scam, and just like any money.
Okay. I think we're gonna get our money on the 15th.
Certainly hope so.
It looks like that should be the case. Because what happens is that you get your money 45 days after the end of a month in which you had $100 in your guy. At the end of September, we had $91 in our guy, so we didn't have enough to get paid out for that month. By the end of October, we obviously had over $100, so 45 days from the end of October is December 15th.
It's December 16th, or it's 31 days in October.
Well, no. You're counting for 30 days in November and 15 days in December.
Right.
So yeah, on the 15th we should get all the money that's in our fucking Twitch. Wouldn't that be a fucking time? Wouldn't that be a fucking time?
Imagine like getting the money back we spent on this project.
It'd be incredible.
Seems not legal.
Seems like a Gaza. How much money do you think we've made on this project so far?
Me?
How much do you think we've made on Twitch?
Oh,
in
like
total.
$500 or $600.
We're up to 915, dog.
Oh shit.
So if we get this fucking money, we might get $1,000, might get $500 a piece.
How about that?
If they send your whole fucking... I don't know if they're gonna only send us the revenue of up through the end of October,
Oh, that was...
and then like every month after that. I guess we'll find out.
Dude.
But yeah, we're sitting on like an untapped grand of Twitch money that we could that is has our name signed on it. But who knows what quantity and at what time shall be received the payload, motherload.
Well, fair viewers, if you want to make sure we get paid well, give us
Jalen
more
Harris
money.
says, I Am Games didn't become profitable until I came into the picture in October. Seems about right.
I made
I mean, pretty much. Granted, it's still not necessarily profitable. Profit doesn't mean how much you make. It means how much you make over how much you lost.
Right. And games are expensive.
They're not gonna make it easy to
And
get into
time
that
is
lab.
expensive.
It really is.
Sneak past?
So here's I don't know if we should insider baseball this on stream, but like, is there ever a point where we're gonna be like, I Am Games is unsustainable?
That could work, actually.
What are you asking me?
Is there ever gonna be a point where we're just like, I Am Games is unsustainable?
If it doesn't... I mean, so I guess what we're waiting for right now is, A, to finally actually get the Twitch money and see how that feels. B, to try and potentially launch either a Patreon or some kind of, like, put more effort into the merch store again, that was what we were originally pushing with this channel. And also, we need to see the result of the video that I'm working on, you know? If the Tales of Fantasia video does well, or if any other video we have idea does well. So I would say that if we made it like 3 months from now, and it didn't seem like it was financially tenable, I'd be like, yeah, this is it, you know? If my Fantasia video can't get decent views, I will be strongly disheartened, but I am going to promote the shit out of it. So I would be shocked if it got less than what I wanted to. But I really hope it makes like a lot, you know.
It would be nice.
Akiba Strip does not have nudity in it. It is, you just strip them down to their underwear.
We intercepted call for backup during your last fight. The caller's position is on your Soliton radar. You can engage if you wish. It is your choice.
I have determined the approximate location of the lab based on the boy's information. It is marked
How many views is a lot? For the I Am Games channel, a lot would be like 100,000. If a video could get 100,000 views on that channel, it would be like, this is like a healthy, this is like a good boy, you know? If it got like 50,000 views, that would still be pretty satisfying for a video about Tales of Fantasia. It's 53 minutes long. And it would probably be really well liked for the people who saw it. If it only got like 25,000, that would be like the minimum that I considered to be like what I expected from the level of promotion that I plan to do. And if it got less than 25,000 views, I'd be like, well, this was a fucking huge failure. So that's about what I'd say. Those are vague, though. If it's like 24,500, I might be like, still kind of want to do part 2.
Struggle.
But if it gets like 19k after I make a main channel video promoting it, the series is going to fucking garbage. Thoughts on Summer Wars? It's one of my favorite movies. Have you seen Summer Wars, Tom?
Yeah, it's great.
That's right, we talked about this.
The best Digimon movie ever.
If it doesn't do well on Iron Games, it's stopping you from just making it a main channel project. There just wouldn't be a point. Like, the only reason I'm doing the project is to promote Iron Games as a separate venture.
I mean, if the people on the main channel won't go to IM Games to watch it, I don't see why they would just watch it on the main channel.
Right.
You probably get a little bit more just because the people are lazy, but I don't expect there to be a huge upturn.
Keyblade Spirit says, oh my god, it's actually December now. 2018 is a month from being over. Kingdom Hearts 3 is less than 2 months from release. Christmas is like 2 weeks from now. What the fuck?
Yeah, this year's almost over. It's fucking weird.
November blew by.
Yeah, dude.
On a cloud of weed smoke. I'm kind of excited for December. I've got a lot of ideas. I may have, right before we started this stream, started up doing Finish or Fail with May again. And I think people are going to be like, oh my god, Digi's actually doing the thing that we all kind of just want him to do. And I'll be like, yeah, that's right, I actually wanted to do it.
Brains.
Do you think branding each video thumbnail with the Iron Games logo is helpful for receiving and retaining views or not? It's hard to say, really. I think it's more of a long-term thing. Like, individually, I don't think it helps a video to get views on a first-time viewing. But, like, if you've seen an IM Games video before and you see that and you think, I want to see another one of those, then you will be likely to click again. Apparently, it's also something that a lot of people request from YouTube channels that are like, that, you know, if they fall into a category where there's not, like, distinct branding, because people just don't really look at the name of the channel. They just kind of look at the thumbnail, because they're expecting there to be branding in it. So, yeah, I don't know. But that's just what I've heard from a few Wii sources. Obviously, on my channel, I don't do any consistent branding because I'm always hoping that the video is going to escape my audience. But, could be that I'm doing it all wrong. Maybe I should have a fucking stupid anime face on all my fucking thumbnails. Like another one.
More classified Patriot information was in that man's photographic memory.
Will you ever finish Sangatsu no Lion? Surely on Finish or Fail.
Yes, perhaps. You said
Everybody's celebrating No Nut November, and I'm over here like, I never started.
Probably best you stay out of there. We don't want to risk harming any of the brains.
I never started No Fat November. I don't do that shit.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Why would I ever want to not fat? What the fuck is that thing?
Full dwarf gecko.
Remains of a Nightmare. It's a fucking berserk abomination.
All hours. Now, use it to locate a data input terminal.
These guys are pretty jumpy now.
Is this what they call ugly cute?
I didn't want to do that. But
Try
okay.
latching onto cyborgs' heads from behind. Then, an electric shock should knock them
I'll just make
unconscious.
this way
Why is
better.
this fucking happening? Why is this in this game?
I really don't know. It's one of those weird things.
I understand that games always feel the need to include some kind of different thing so that it doesn't feel like you're doing the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
That terminal is most likely designed to download mission data and such into the UGs. Let's try using it to access the lab server.
But did you know that Tom is fapping in his house?
It's a weird
I
question.
figured as much.
I found something. In right.
When I got in here, it was no nut life. Can't do it anymore. It's illegal. It's in the Constitution. The 69th Amendment.
You see that, Kev? Imani's killer. Only one. What about Rice?
How do I learn to move like him?
Like this guy?
Yeah.
Like Raiden?
Yeah, like
You
that.
got a robot body.
Like that. How do I get one?
I don't know. I've been asking that for years. That's what I want.
I want to go to the Robo Show. God damn, the way you cut those motherfuckers to pieces, it's just like, they're just gone.
It's the best feeling of all time.
More Patriot intel. Bring me more. And maybe I can develop something interesting from it.
No, don't kill your buddies.
Not my buddies.
But you were one.
Yeah, I stole one of the enemy's things to get intel. I want me dead.
Tom, would you even want to be the first few who gets an authentic robot body, or would you wait?
I'd probably wait. I've played Deus Ex. I understand how bad it can be.
Just watching like MKBHD be like the first guy with a Tesla, it's like you don't ever want to be the first guy. You ever watch any MKBHD's Tesla videos?
Some of them. I saw the one where he fucking got sideswiped by a truck.
Yeah.
That's
And they
true.
like can't fix it because it takes forever to fix
Right.
Tesla.
So it's just like, that sucks. But well, the interesting thing with Deus Ex is that like once you become transhumanism, like your body becomes like a cell phone, and that like they're gonna be releasing new models every year and shit.
Yeah.
So it's just like that's the whole interesting thing with the original PC Deus Ex is that nanotechnology becomes a thing. So all the OGs from like Human Revolution and stuff, they're all outdated, and people like laugh at them because they can't get
Right.
nanomachines because their arms are just bulky robot things. So it's like they're not second class citizens, but like they're at a strategic disadvantage because now like they can't adapt to the new technology. So it's just like, well, that's fucked. I'd still rather have outdated robot arms than like super outdated, you know, millions of years old organic bodies. Shit hasn't been updated in forever.
Any chance of you and Victor meeting up for the holidays and doing a DigiBros/DigiFam session? Not likely. Most of our holiday plans have been a clusterfuck with my family, but I think we're not going to meet everybody till spring break. Unless Victor decides he wants to come up here for some reason on New Year's. I ain't driving all the way down there. I already gotta drive all the way to Rochester for Christmas. I love shirtless Victor.
Don't we all?
From a guy whose name is Victor Rupt.
Are you talking about himself?
Big robot. Yeah, your ass slapped.
Yeah, I'm getting fucking wrecked. You know, this guy's like insanely easy.
Apparently, you and I are morphing together.
How so?
Apparently, I am Xenophort, and I am turning you into another version of me. Keylate Spirit says you may be onto something. Tom's beanie looks an awful lot like Digi's beard.
I don't think that's what they meant.
Ninja Jeff is just screaming the rules of nature. Thoughts on torrenting video games? Highly advisable if you have the means, like, to run them now.
And for emulating, you've got to do that, pretty much.
Well, you don't got torrented. I usually find games for direct download. How long is this game? You can do it in like 4 hours.
We're like a third way done right now.
Yeah. I'd say we could do this whole game in 2 big streams. Or 1 regular stream and 1 slightly longer than regular stream, probably. Just beating the final boss.
I knew I'd seen that guy before. They're not my head.
How would you guys rank the big Japanese game developers, e.g. Yoko Taro, Kojima, Sakaguchi, etc.?
I don't know.
That would take a lot of thought.
I just play video games.
I just wanna play video games.
I'm at 1.1% HP.
I don't think I have a favorite game developer. I'm really lost, like, trying to think of if there's any particular, like, even team of game development that I prefer over anything else.
Just play games, man.
Just play the game. I mean, I do think Sakaguchi's really good, but he didn't even direct, like, all of the, like, PS1 era games. Like, he worked on all of them, but he wasn't, like, the director.
Yeah.
Y'all played Celeste? Not yet.
Someone, Gypsy, gave me Celeste on Steam, so I should play it.
Whoa! Why did he give it to you and not me? It's my kind of game.
Because he messaged both of us in the Discord, said, "Give me your Steam handles, and I'll give you free games." And you never responded, and I did.
I thought he added me. Well, and also, my name is fucking Digibro.
Never know, dude.
Are you going to watch the Studio Trigger live stream today? I don't know. Is it after this? When is it?
You know we need it.
Ooh, Victor Rupt has a good point. Ranking Miyazaki from Software the best. Yeah, that's probably my favorite, is Hidetaka Miyazaki. Because he designed all the good Souls games.
So none of them.
But
I'm so clever, guys.
I was thinking about starting up a Let's Play series where I, with May, where I played through Dark Souls 3. Because why not?
Yeah, there's no reason not to.
So, I follow Jesse on Patreon, because I'm a patron, and he releases way more videos on his Patreon than he releases off of it. But usually they're like random Let's Plays and shit. And he started up a new Dark Souls Let's Play that's just a normal Dark Souls Let's Play. because all the ones he's done before have either had some kind of weird character or narrative element. Because he's still like he's still making tons of Babadook Spook ones. But he was like, I'm gonna start one up that's just normal. And he's like, I can't stop playing Dark Souls. Like, it's the only game I really come back to all the time. And I was like, man, I wouldn't mind doing a series like this about Dark Souls 3. I was also reminded of Dark Souls 3 by, I think it was actually, somebody was complaining about it being, it was Yahtzee. I was listening to an episode of Let's Drown Out, and he was complaining about Dark Souls 3 being like all cathedrals, and how he liked Dark Souls 2 for its variety. And I was like, fuck that, Dark Souls 3 cathedrals are the greatest fucking levels ever. I want to play them right now. And that was how I felt. Because there is this one cathedral level in Dark Souls 3 that's probably my favorite level in a video game ever.
Why'd you play Dark Souls when you do that? That was so much cooler than all of Dark Souls.
What?
I said, why would you play Dark Souls when you can do that? It's just like cut that guy up to a million pieces. It's like cooler than all of Dark Souls.
No. It's not as cool as the fucking cathedrals in Dark Souls 2.
No.
You cut that guy up, but you did it in just a regular city streets.
I don't care where I cut somebody up. I'm cutting people up. It's not location dependent, let me tell you.
Felix Pretzel gave us $5 with, oh god damn, the fucking check keeps moving. Help me, I'm stuck looking after my family's puppy while they're out all night. I can't get any work done.
I guess you could say you're supposed to be working right
now. Yeah, kill the dog.
Don't have to watch it if it's dead. Or at least it's not going to be going anywhere.
Ryan 59 says, Frums Miyazaki didn't even get into making games until he was 29. Gives me hope since I just started drawing at 26, and age is just a number, man. I think Ben was like 26 when he started drawing too. He's not a long time draw boy.
Yeah, Ben's just unnaturally talented at it.
I think he just made really fast progress by copying other people's stuff and like understanding it immediately. You know?
It's the understanding it immediately part that's not...
I think he's the type who will draw something someone else drew and go, oh, okay, that's what they did, you know? And then go, well, I don't like that.
HQ, requesting the zone be designated for heightened security. Roger, upgrading security status.
He also just has a real fucking knack for dynamic poses and, like, foreshortening.
Yeah, which is the one thing I can't do in drawing at all. Which is why I started doing 3D in the first place.
Ninja Jeff said, dude, it's not a regular city, it's Denver. Dead dogs greater than sleeping dogs greater than watchdogs.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that that guy was 26 and like worried if it was too late to get started on something. Like, I feel like that's something you're supposed to be feeling in your 40s.
I mean, people feel that in their 20s now because like there's like 18 to 20-year-olds like super successful on the internet. It's like,
I mean, you should look at that as like, well, that kid is only 18, so even if he's been doing this since he was fucking 1, I'm 25. I have more than 18 years of life left, you know.
I think people look at it more as like they have such a head start.
Have you ever rated the design of real people? Constantly.
I don't think I've ever done that.
Never rated a real person's character design?
No.
Never been like, that girl's a 10?
I don't know if I call that rating someone's character. It's more like rating my attractiveness to child, you know. We're getting to the gay part of the game. I don't want to do this part. Come on.
Victor Root says, I'm almost 21 and feeling old as hell. Eat healthier.
It's true.
Feel less old.
The problem is that, like, you're gonna have to do that forever. It's not
Yeah,
really a problem.
but you don't want to feel old when you're young.
No.
Say feeling old when you're old. I mean, when you're old, you're gonna start doing that shit anyways because you're fucking gonna be like, oh, my body hurts if I don't do this. Like, I cannot take the pain anymore of living.
That's me.
So
right
you might
now.
as well start it young.
Junk food is a trap. It is gay, and it should be illegal.
Have you guys played Devil Daggers? No.
It looks interesting. I don't know if it's my kind of game, but it looks interesting.
Keyblade Spirit says I've cracked the code. I don't actually have to participate in every conversation. If I don't care, all I have to do is say okay whenever the other person stops talking for more than 2 seconds. Like and subscribe for more speedrun tech.
Pretty much the case.
Tom, I remember you mentioning a possible MGS lecture. Have you thought about it?
I wasn't like super sold on an MGS lecture. It was more that like people were asking me to do it. But I think Animorphs makes the most sense because it's like obscure. Nobody really knows about it, and I know a lot about it because I've read the whole series multiple times. And I think it's incredibly interesting.
I didn't even know you'd read it multiple times.
Yeah, it's good shit.
Jess is greater than Bestie Boy is greater than Munchie greater than Digi greater than Tom greater than Hippo greater than DeVoot. Character design wise, I think it was. Tom,
Yeah.
what were you just talking about?
I don't remember. I'm gay.
X. Oh, lectures.
Alright, Animorphs lecture.
I want to see that.
That'll be
I want to
good.
do a Coheed and Cambria album lore lecture, but I have to do a lot of research for it. Digi, y'all should play through Demon Souls instead of Dark Souls 3. I like Dark Souls 3 a lot though, and it would be a lot easier to do mindlessly. Like, Demon Souls is the hardest to get started with of all the Souls games, because like, eventually, once you've leveled enough that you can like start and like, once you're like leveled enough and you have enough money that you can buy just like a shit ton of healing items, then you can start like cheesing your way through, not being amazing at the game. But if not for that, it would be the hardest one. Instead, Dark Souls is the hardest one in my opinion. Well, actually, Bloodborne gave me the most trouble. That was the first one I played. But like, Dark Souls 3 is just like more streamlined and relaxed, and it's more of a like quick run-through game. It's funny because a lot of people consider Dark Souls 1 to be like the most replayable because you can play it so many different ways. And I'm not really the type of person who likes to play through a game a whole ton of different ways, because usually I like to find the optimal route that I like to take and then just take that every time, you know? So like, I'm not the type who's gonna play through Dark Souls 6 times and choose a different build and get like masterfully good at the controls. I'm gonna play through it and, you know, use the exact same build I did last time and do it in the same order that makes sense. So Dark Souls 3 is like the cleanest experience to do that. And it's also the prettiest and has like the coolest levels. So I want to play it again. I'm surprised Digital Tom hasn't played Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix on Critical. Ignoring the story, the boss fights alone are so fun. Two?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Have you ever said that to Nate?
No, because I don't want to die.
What'd you hate about it?
It's not fun. I mean, they're cool, but like, I don't like the combat in Kingdom Hearts 2 very much. I think it's clunky. So when it requires more precision with these boss fights, I just think it falls apart and feels bad.
Sounds about right.
But like, Kingdom Hearts is like hailed for its good combat, and I guess I just hold combat to a higher standard. I mean, it has like some of the best combat in like an action RPG, but like that's like saying, you know, like fucking kiddie pool with a defense good. It's like, who cares? It's not actually deep.
You know, we really might have to like just like make the late night party stream something that we just like reserve for when we have more popularity than we currently do.
Right,
We only have like 50, we have less than 50 viewers, and like whenever we do these we usually have less viewers, and like it's hard to be more energetic because the chat is way slower. So if anything, it's like the least, even though the games we play are really energetic and fun, like we don't really have much to say because there's not enough people like chatting and asking questions.
Do you want to kill them? Is that what we're getting to right now? Or put them on hold?
I mean, I do think 3 streams a week is kind of a lot, but at the same time, I do think that like the people who subscribed might have wanted it to be 3 times a week. But I don't know how many of them even show up for these late night streams.
Hard to say.
Mostly Jalen Harris who's here. What do you think, chat? Would you be remiss if you lost out on the Friday night party stream? Would you be down with just 2 streams a week for a while until we had a big enough audience to like justify this? Because I feel like late night party stream sounds like something you'd want to like. When I think about it, I was like, oh, we'll have people who are like, yeah, that's the one I want to go to the most because it sounds like the most fun. But I think the reality is more that like this is just not a time that most people are watching streams as compared to the other times that we do them at, you know?
Yeah.
And like any unique draw they would have as like a late night party is kind of it's kind of hampered by the fact that not enough people are actually there.
This is the worst part of the game.
This must be the railroad.
It would have this.
You want to play this part? I got this.
My favorite part where you're stuck in the dark and have to walk through a tunnel.
Keep Friday and ditch Thursday. We get like half the viewers on Friday that we do on Thursday though. Like our Friday streams are like always under 50, unless like later on, like as they go, they sometimes get more. But like tonight, we did not even break 50 like at all. Normally on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're hovering around 80, possibly up to 100 if it's like more popular, better advertised. Last Friday we did not get a whole ton. Last Friday was the DMC stream, and it was particularly quiet. I really think the Friday streams are like the ones that are by far the most quiet. Like, we thought it would be the opposite just because, I don't know, I just thought people would want to have late night hangout streams on Fridays, but I think people just have other shit to do on Fridays than watch a live stream. Y'all gotta pick a better game on Party Stream? I don't really know what to play.
This is the gay part.
Everyone's just like, it's not really a party because you're just playing an action game.
Our definitions of party are very loose.
Yeah. I mean, this is what I used to do with my friends, is get drunk and watch them play video games.
Okay,
so.
chat. Since you're more social than we are, what would make this a party stream?
A lot of people are saying we should be playing like party games and multiplayer games.
I was gonna say, should we have a stream where we just like invite people in who are subscribed and like play multiplayer games?
No, that sounds like a nightmare. Oh, you mean like just into like the game but not actually on the show?
Yeah.
That could be possible. I just think that like we should just put a stop on Friday for a while, because like I don't think people just want to come to a late night stream in general. Seems like some of those things that other people are saying. Aren't the late night streams the only one where Drunk Toy ever shows up? Well, he's not here now.
He hasn't been here for weeks.
Yeah, he realized that he spends too much money on this goddamn show. I know if I woke up and I'd spent $100 on a show the night before, I would stop watching that show. I want to hear you guys say things. This is just, oh yeah, those are a lot of pieces. Yeah, this guy was saying that like his problem is that the game doesn't give us enough to talk about because you just like it already. There's nothing to react to. It's just a good game. Although this is a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, this is the worst. It's supposed to be a stealth section, but you can't like, you have this night vision mode, but you can't fight while having this night vision mode on, so if anybody spots you, you have to just fight in the dark. And it's really,
annoying.
Really stupid.
I'll checkpoint you.
Fuck!
Jalen Harris says, although I'm broke at the moment, next week there will definitely be more donations. Are you spending all your money on donations? Because if so, you
keep going. I'm poor.
Yeah, well, there you go. Tom's encouraging it.
No, don't.
Like the least enthusiastic no doll.
As someone who is poor, I can't recommend it.
Oh boy. How long does this dark section go on for?
It's a couple minutes.
You can't just like avoid these guys and keep going.
You can, but not really.
See, this is one of the things I love about Dark Souls, is that if you don't feel like fighting an enemy, you just don't. It's like, oh, that guy's coming at me, fuck that guy, I'm running over here.
Let's see what I'm doing.
It's like ignoring monsters is almost as satisfying as killing monsters.
I don't know if I agree. The only reason I play video games is to kill monsters.
Yeah, but I also like just being able to like dodge a monster, be like, yeah, fuck you, bitch, you ain't even get to fight me.
I'm not about that pacifist avoiding conflict. Unless I'm playing Deus Ex, which is a stealth game, in which case that's like the funnest way to play it.
This section usually takes like 1.5 minutes. So
Yeah, we're almost there. We just gotta go up here and into a hallway. I just keep falling off the fucking thing for no reason.
There is a maintenance shaft up ahead. Use it to return to the surface.
I really wish that just stayed on.
No.
Because it looks cool. All my friends are out at an actual party while I'm watching a stream. I think I made the right choice. I'm glad you feel that way. Play a good game, you fogies. Tell us what you think is a good game as compared to Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. He did call us fogies. I feel like a fogey. I'm okay with this. Mario Sunshine? That's even older than this. Do you have any interest in playing Mario Sunshine?
I wouldn't have as much fun with it as this, but I'm sure I could get through it.
Sure.
I mean, most of the GameCube library I have no real experience with.
Whoa. Is Mark almost done with Pokemon Coliseum?
I don't know, Mark, you almost done with Pokemon Coliseum?
Are you almost done?
I completed the legendary, it's as far as I am.
Well, how far is that?
I did the Pokemon lab, and now I'm in the final Coliseum area.
So, like, how close to the end of the game are you? Is the question.
Another episode and a half.
Okay.
But I have a lot of Pokemon.
Another episode and a half. So should it just be one more episode?
I don't know. I don't know how long the end of the game is.
Let's see.
It might be very long and difficult. I don't know.
Yeah, we were talking about doing another Coliseum episode, but May really did not want to have to grind all the fucking Pokemon. Because it takes an eternity. I have been binging y'all's streams on playlists. God damn it, this fucking chat is such a pain in the fucking ass right now. It's like fucking... You have to be like a certain distance up in the chat for it to just stay. Like if you're close to the bottom, it will keep going up. And yet, like if you... Like because for some reason right now I can't like just scroll up, I have to grab the stupid little thing and drag it up. And then like hold it there so it doesn't fucking move.
That's dumb.
I've been binging y'all stream playlists on YouTube while at work. I listen like a podcast while working, then watch when on break/lunch. Glad I got to tune in live tonight. Shout out.
Hell yeah.
How are the shirts selling? As far as I know, we haven't sold a shirt in a long time.
Yeah, I don't think anybody cares anymore.
We haven't really been pushing it. I think people mostly wanted it to buy from us in the beginning, and that was the appeal. So I think until we can sell them from us again, nobody's going to give a shit. I mean, if anybody wants to buy one who's watching right now, get in contact. You know, I think we can do a few. Do we have any more that we can do?
We got a couple more.
We got a couple more. I'm trying to get, like, I've been very slowly ever since August trying to move into the realm of doing merch. And, like, Tom's kind of used to doing it, but I'm not. So, and obviously he has all the equipment. So, like, doing the care package for me was, like, my sort of test of, like, feeling around for what it's like. And I'm going to do another one of those next month. And, I don't know, depending on how things go at the start of December, I might be like, it's time to move forward with the next phase of I Am Games, where we make it a merch empire with a Patreon or something.
I mean, that seems like the best way to go.
Head for the next objective marker.
Jalen says, no, I'm not spending all my money on you or other streams. So I guess it's not just
Alcohol, then. Jalen. Fucking alcoholic. Gonna have an intervention.
The stock LQ-84 Fenrir. Unreal Dawn has a far
play some big cum games. Sadly, your MGR big cum tolerance is too high. It's true. I think that a big part of what made Shinobi so special for big cums is that it wasn't something you'd done like 1,000 times, you know?
Right.
It was like, oh my god, you actually did it. Whereas in these games, it's just like, yeah, I beat the boss. And it's like, to the audience who hasn't played the game, it just looks like it's an easy fuck game that you just skated through like it was nothing.
I guess we just gotta stop playing games we know are good. Especially for, I guess, okay, the party stream, we initially envisioned like, oh, it'll just be a chill, like we'll play something we're comfortable with that we know is good so we can just have fun.
Yeah.
But, I think because of the problems you said, what we should do with the party stream is it should be games that we don't know anything about so we can be fucking crazy drunk.
I mean, I wanted us to play Cannon Spike, but I left it on you to do all the work involved.
I don't even remember Cannon Spike.
Remember that Dreamcast game I showed you where you could play as Mega Man?
Yeah. I need more CDs. I don't have any blank CDs anymore.
Ah, shit.
I mean, when have I ever needed one?
Jetstream Sam.
How's the weed been? Great. There was some kind of weird notification on the screen from Captain Guest Stuff. I don't know what it was for. Really. What's the next Pokemon game for Digi in May? I mean, the next... Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. I was just gonna say I wanted to do Dark Souls 3. I forgot we were gonna do Princess Maker 2. I also wouldn't mind playing through more Pokemon games, but follow up, once you're done, will you switch to another game for Digi plus May After Dark videos? I think that's what we just answered. This is earlier in the chat. A lot of people say you gotta play Bayonetta for the big cons.
I mean, Bayonetta seems like a good choice because like it's crazy and I haven't played it, so we could be hyped. This is another really dumb part of the game. Luckily, it's only a few seconds, but still.
Digi, I'm still waiting on Digi brand pajama pants. Me too, dude, but like, I don't know anybody who makes them.
You gotta make them yourself. Wasn't May gonna learn how to make do sewing and stuff. Should make custom pajama pants.
Yeah, you have to get the fabric with the thing printed on it. You can't just like make them.
I have faith. I have faith you can learn multiple disciplines.
Would Tom play Demon Souls on I Am Gates? It's not Dark Souls, so...
I mean, if you wanted me and Digi to just fight for like 2 hours about how good / bad it is, we could do that.
I don't want to watch Tom play Dark Souls. I want to play Dark Souls in front of Tom. I want to show him that it is cool and fun.
I don't think you could convince me. We should just do a week where if we're only doing 2 streams, we should do 1 stream where you're playing and I'm watching, other stream where I'm playing and you're watching.
Possible.
So we can both have our takes.
Wait, are you saying that we should do like a Souls game that way? What were you saying exactly?
I'm saying we could have a stream. We could do 1 stream where you're playing and I'm watching, then another stream where I'm playing and you're watching. We could do an entire game like that if you wanted to, but I was just saying like we could have a week like that.
Yeah. Keyblade Spirit says, well, it's time for the biggest come of all as I announced the long-awaited results of the poll. Who was the JoJo? Who was the meme? With a staggering 15 votes, the JoJo is Space Cadet Collins. At damn this fucking chat. At 17 votes, Digibrono MLP literally destroys the competition for who is the meme. Congratulations to all the participants. So I guess my dad was the JoJo and I was the meme. That's a good, yeah, that's good results. A Digi and main Nuzlocke would be fun. I didn't even think about that, but that's a great idea. I can build a new overlay. Or May can build the overlay. She could probably build a better overlay than I could.
See, you have a competition.
My overlays are not amazing.
I'll draw each of the Pokemon too. It'll be great.
Jalen Harris keeps demanding we play Demon Souls and bring back Hotline Bling, which I assume was just Victor singing Hotline Bling in a funny voice around the time that it came out. According to Dean Bragonier in his TEDx talk, people with autism are able to do highly specific patterns and skills because the axions in their brain are short and positioned closer to each other than they would in a normie's noodle. People with dyslexia have longer accents that are further apart from that of a normie. This allows them... Oh shit. This allows them to look at a situation and identify different pieces of info and blend them into a tapestry that makes sense to us but most people can't see. Some people have said these skip all the good cutscenes. No cutscene is a good cutscene.
I just figured you've seen the cutscenes, I've seen the cutscenes. I assumed everybody in the stream had probably seen the cutscenes.
Yeah, but they want to see the cutscenes.
I mean, this is just like when he's like, I'm Jack the Ripper now, and justice is not black and white, and killing could be bad, maybe.
Hot Ryan Bring was the character Vic made in the game that looked like an Asian Drake. Makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Ninja Jeff asks, do you never watch cutscenes on repeat playthrough?
Depends. Sometimes they're good.
Depends on what kind of game it is. I mean, if I'm playing like a long RPG, I'd probably want to see the cutscenes. If I'm playing Metal Gear Rising, maybe not. Not that the cutscenes aren't good, but just like...
I want Armstrong to make America great again. I'm gonna watch that.
What's May's Nuzlocke track record? I wouldn't trust Digi alone to finish a Nuzlocke. I wouldn't trust me to even get past level 1 in a Nuzlocke.
I've done like a Nuzlocke with Pokemon
Red
Red once.
once, and you beat it?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I think we could do it. Been unironically listening to Ohio is for Lovers since watching this channel. That makes one of us. When do we get to see Senator Armstrong?
The end of the game.
Yeah, we're on the halfway mark. We're probably gonna stop after this boss.
Yeah. If I beat it.
Oh shit. What if we lose like a little big bitch?
I would be very upset with this.
Oh fuck, you're dead. You're fucked. You're fucking dead. Have you got any items? You got a healing item on you?
I think so.
This is Dark Soul. Take a drink from your flask. Wow. This is like the Dark Souls of action games. It's so hard. You've got low life. This game's hard.
No.
You ever have the times where you're watching somebody play a game and they get to like low life and they're like, this game's hard. And you're like, you're not even dead yet. Even if you were dead, you died once. Get him before you get to. Get him before you get to.
Unfortunately, I only have small windows where I can actually hit him.
No!
Oh, I guess that's the end of the stream. Utter failure.
It doesn't start you from like 30% or something.
No, it's gonna start from the beginning.
No!
Okay. What the fuck?
Well, you've got 150 lives.
Yeah, I'm getting HP upgrade. Armstrong has 200% life inside the game.
Is that because of Nano Machine's son?
Yeah. That's what they do.
Okay. Would you consider this a cyberpunk game?
I think it's cyberpunk adjacent, but I wouldn't call it cyberpunk. Not very. It's very cyber, but not very punk.
Would you consider it a biopunk game?
I don't really know what biopunk would consist of at the time.
Would you consider it a body horror game?
No. I mean, it has elements of it, but it's not the focus.
Would you call this a ninja game?
Absolutely.
Our brand is upheld.
Has to.
We only play ninja games on our end games.
You rebrand the party stream to Ninja Friday.
I used to play a strange version of Monopoly at Montessori Elementary School, and one of the properties was named Hawthorne Heights, and as an edgy preteen, I acquired it every time.
I wonder if that's where Hawthorne Heights band got their name.
Hawthorne Heights is not a metalcore band, are they? I would not
Emo
consider them
band.
metal. They're not an emo band either. They're just like a... I would consider them like a... I guess just a hardcore band, but even then they're really fucking... I don't know, I guess I haven't heard enough of their other songs other than Ohio is for Lovers, but that one's just like a regular ass like radio rock song that happens to have screams in it occasionally. Butt emo. I'll take butt emo as a genre. That's fucking hilarious. No, I would describe their genre as mall goth. Or, even then though, they're a little wimpy for fucking even like a Hot Topic. Oh. This stream is ninja buffering.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Who's for that guy? Mall goth with the Suncoast Video Gundam Wing aesthetic.
I definitely have healing items, I just don't remember how to equip them. If I remember, I don't know what the button is on PS3. So I'm playing this game on hard mode. I'm not using HP recovery items.
Thank you for giving me a band name. Rio One Lee Tired said Hot Topic Goths at least listen to Bring Me the Horizon or something. That is exactly the band I was trying to think of the name of to make that exact same statement. So, thank you for reminding me the name of Bring Me the Horizon. I was gonna drink more of this beer, but instead I kind of want to get like, is there any fast food that's open at 2 a.m.? Do we have a 24-hour McDonald's?
I think we found, like, you know, the one we went to on
Yeah.
the way to get food, like,
Look it up on the Google
That
Maps.
one.
you remember the one?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Also, the one in
Tom is a parryless coward.
Wait, what?
Parryless.
What do you mean parry this? I've been parrying this entire time.
Well, he's a fool.
I've been like perfect parrying a bunch of this stuff.
Whataburger is 24 hours.
we don't have a whatever.
I don't even know where one would be. They're in California. McDonald's is poison? I don't disagree.
They're also open.
Tom, use your dodge roll to clip into the floor and attack the boss from there.
That sounds like a coward's way. %, HP. Yes, I honestly don't know why I'm doing so badly. I usually just crush this guy. Probably because I don't have all my geared weapons from my own class.
Digi, if you had a year left to live, would you focus on making your last magnum opus, or just spend your remaining time with loved ones, or etc.? I would probably spend all the money I have on doing fun shit. Perfect parry. It takes no effort to parry in Metal Gear Rise in real time.
No, it doesn't. But that's why I was saying parryless didn't make sense. It's not hard. Oh, fuck you.
Alright, we gotta stop.
We're fucking done. This game's gay. I hate it. 0 out of 10. Worst game ever made.
Alright, everybody. See you next week.
Same ninja time, same ninja channel.
Be the games you want to see.